Black History Month remembers and celebrates the achievements of African Americans.
The month also forces us as a nation to think about how African American history is part of the American story. What role does it play in modern America, and what sparked its creation? We explore those questions tonight, and the answers are an American truth. What we know today as Black History Month begins in 1915 in Chicago, Illinois. Thousands of African Americans traveled there to mark the 50th anniversary of the Civil War ending. Inside the city's Coliseum, exhibits highlighting the progress of Black Americans. Among those in attendance is a young man, Carter G. Woodson.
There was something special about Woodson intellectually.
The son of two former slaves, Woodson would go on to earn a doctorate from Harvard University.
I think one of my mentors would call Woodson a go-getter.
Historian, author, and professor at Chicago State University, Dr. Lionel Kimball.
He sees thousands of people standing outside to get into the convention.
The turnout and exhibits inspire Woodson and several prominent Black Chicagoans. The group returned to the now historic Wabash Avenue YMCA.
And they formed the Association for the Study of Then Negro Life and History in September of 1915.
The organization later grows into the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, or the ASALH. The group still thrives today.
The general mission is to promote, disseminate, protect, publish the story of African American people here in the United States.
But it wasn't until February 1926 when Woodson announced Negro History Week. Why that month? To honor two men whose birthdays are in February and played a role in shaping Black history. President Abraham Lincoln, who signed the proclamation freeing the slaves, and Frederick Douglass, the former slave and abolitionist famous for his speaking skills and anti-slavery writings.
And for a number of years, it was Negro History Week and then eventually Black History Week.
Associate Professor of History at Murray State University, Dr. Brian Clardy.
It didn't really become expanded into a month until we get to 1976. Of course, this is the time when the bicentennial was going on, and President Ford was the first American president to acknowledge and to recognize Black History Month.
Clardy says the month brings attention to African American issues that have long been ignored.
In every facet of life, in sports, in drama, in culture, in politics, in literature, those contributions are virtually ignored in many standard texts and in many curricula. Now that's changing. That is changing.
But any movement has naysayers, as seen in this well-known exchange on 60 Minutes between Mike Wallace and actor Morgan Freeman.
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
All right, I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
I'd like to invite you to join us for our 2021 Black History Month virtual festival.
Supporters of Black History Month argue it's important to learn specifically about Black history and its role in the American story as a whole. Pieces of the country's story that are simply unknown to many.
It also goes back to slavery. It goes back to the oral stories passed down generation to generation. It manifests itself in food, in fashion, in music, in mannerisms, in coded language that African Americans understand and relate to, that has a history to it.
And the better we get at teaching it and telling these stories about who we are and the ordinary heroes and sheroes in the world, the better we all are.
Woodson died in 1950, but his legacy lived on through the 20th century.
And just yesterday, the U.S. Postal Service issued a Carter G. Woodson stamp as part of their Black Heritage Series.
In the 21st century,
we face a lot of challenges across racial and ethnic lines.
And amidst the Black Lives Matter movement and reignited racial tensions, perhaps Black history is more important now than ever before.
Taking that effort to learn more and to unlearn some things will help us get through these challenging times.
Black History Month is also recognized from governments in Canada, Ireland, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom. So, Jennifer, it's truly a global movement that remains very strong.
Yeah, it's also important.